Hello everybody on YouTube and all the NFL YouTube prognosticators and NFL fans everywhere. This is Andrew Warren, back here once again, giving you my thoughts for Week 17 and my wild card weekend NFL predictions. Well, it's been a crazy Week 17 like it's always, but I didn't expect this. I went 14-2, probably the best record all year. I've been 9-7 in the last few weeks and everything, but finally I end up being 7-14-2. I got a good record, which I can manage 14-2 any day. And overall, in the season rankings, I went 161-93, which is really good. I mean, really good standing. I mean, I can be more be appreciated for that. So, nothing really personal or anything. And wondering, you're not wearing any Patriots gear, but I'm wearing my new Spider-Man shirt. Hope you guys enjoy it. And my Spider-Man hat, of course. Put it this way, just so everyone knows what it is. And of course, fix that a bit. There you go. And of course, my Spider-Man coffee. Well, coffee mug. There's the back of it, and there's Spider-Man face on there. Well, this is part of my shoutouts for the week, which I'll get to that one in a bit. But my thoughts for Week 17. Like I said, it was a crazy week. So, starting with the Cincinnati-Baltimore game, well, when I first got this one wrong, I was thinking, oh my god, what am I in for? That was one of the games I got wrong, which I thought Baltimore would have been a better seed in it, but instead of being Cincinnati, going up on top, in the standing, in there, they met one of the most disappointing teams, Cincinnati, but they end up going out on a high note, getting a win over their division rivals, that's the Baltimore Ravens. Personally, in my opinion, the Baltimore Ravens are probably one of the best teams that are not in the playoffs right now, so can't go wrong with the Baltimore. But I think next year Baltimore will probably get in the playoffs, but, we'll wait and see how that one turns out. But, Baltimore put up a good fight, but, it just didn't come through in the end, so it didn't go out in that way. But Cincinnati came out on a high note with a disappointing year they had, which I had a feeling they probably did. You guys remember my prediction video, I picked Pittsburgh over in the AFC North, and that one prediction came right. So that was a good one for me, so I can manage that one. In which that's my next step is the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. Yeah, I gotta say this. It's good to see Robert Griffin III back, and he looked like Robert Griffin III like in his rookie year. And they almost beat Pittsburgh with Landry Jones as their backup. But Landry Jones got his start, and he got his first win in his NFL career as a backup. I think someone should look into Landry Jones a little more personally. I know he didn't put up great stats in Oklahoma, but not for nothing. I think if there's a backup quarterback that deserves a shot, could be Landry Jones, in my opinion. I mean, under Big Ben's wing, give him a shot, Let's say why not? But, not for nothing, but Cleveland put up a good fight, though, but Landry Jones and the Steelers came out top in the end, and they ended up getting the victory over the Cleveland Browns. Nice way to top off the season, but Cleveland Browns couldn't get it done. They ended up getting one win of the year, and of course, Cleveland gets the #1 draft pick this coming draft. So, we'll see how that one turns out for Cleveland. Maybe there's a miracle come and have the Cleveland Browns turn around, which I hardly doubt, but, hey, whatever. Good win for Pittsburgh, and they clinched the #3 seed or 4 seed or something like that. But, I believe it's a 3rd seed or something like that, but, anyways, moving on. Who am I next? Oh, yeah, Houston and Tennessee. It was a 50-50 shot. Matt Castle was starting. They ended up getting the job done. Tennessee was probably one of the other good teams that didn't make the playoffs. Maybe next year they probably will with Mariota coming back from that injury he has, and maybe they'll probably get back in the playoffs, maybe go hunt for the AFC South. The weak AFC South, I should say, on that one. And speaking of with Houston losing too, they lost the game. They ended up playing Oakland in the next round. And speaking of the AFC South, Indianapolis and Jacksonville put up a good fight, though, but Indianapolis came through in the end. Like I said, Jacksonville don't have really much good players. Indianapolis does. They just need help in the front office, anything. Something's going on with the organization. They need help. I don't know what it is, but, let's take it for granted, a grain of salt for them to get the win. But, Indianapolis definitely does need help, though. Especially on offense. Maybe their defense too needs some work. But other than that, though, they get Andrew Luck and the Colts get the job done against Jacksonville. Then Jacksonville also too one of the most disappointing teams. I expected them to go 8-8 or 7-9, but personally that didn't turn out to be that way though. But they did fire their coach Gus Farad or something, what his name is. Then they put a new coach in there. Got a win. Not week 17, but week 16. Maybe there was something they needed, but didn't turn out that way for Jacksonville. And I believe they got the 3rd pick in the draft or something like that, or kind of something around the top 5 draft picks choice. So they may get something good in return. Maybe that's something to help out Blake Bortles or something. Get a wide receiver or something. Maybe get some defensive help too. So that's something for Jacksonville to look forward to. And my New England Patriots and the Miami Dolphins. Oh my God, that win made me felt alive in this game. 35-14. Oh my God. Oh my God. I kind of like to breathe a sigh of relief after what happened last year because Miami cost us home field advantage last year. And we had to go through Denver, and we ended up losing Denver in the AFC Championship game. This year, we end up turning out a little bit different. We end up getting the win and the home field advantage, getting 14-2. Yay me! So, and a home field advantage in a week round bye. So that's really good. And it was really good for that win. But for my New England Patriots, it's something we needed to get over the hump. I mean, if we have something to play for, we try to get it done. And last year we didn't. This year we did. So I'm kind of grateful and appreciative for my New England Patriots. Finishing what they are, 14-2, best record in the AFC. I believe they have the best record in the league right now. So we have a little momentum going into that, but take it at a grain of salt. We have a week off and just see who we play and go from there and just be patient for it. So, hey, that's what I can do. And Minnesota and Chicago. Well, I kind of had that gut feeling that Minnesota would go up on top over Chicago. I think Chicago's in the top 3 order in that draft pick, too. Maybe they should finally get rid of Jay Cutler and dump him and get a drafted quarterback. So that's something they should do. Which obviously they won't, but they should do that. But, they're not going to, so I don't know what John Fox is planning in Chicago. I mean, I don't know what he's doing, That league's a mess too. So, something they have to turn around in Chicago, so something's gotta give over there, so something's gotta do something right then and there, so, and that's my whole thing about it, so, anyways, that's how I feel about it. But Minnesota, I hope Teddy Bridgewater does come back, though, because just think if Teddy Bridgewater played this year, they probably wouldn't have been a playoff contender right now. They probably would have been bump out Detroit in that case, though, and go with, and they would have been the wild card seed right there. I think they would have done really good with Teddy Bridgewater. Maybe they steal the show again from Green Bay. I don't know. That could have been. With that defense, yeah, definitely. That's a Super Bowl caliber defense right there. But maybe next year, they'll probably work something out. Maybe Bridgewater will get comeback player of the year, so we have to wait and see on that one. The Jets and the Bills, and I gotta say this, the Jets are kind of relieved to get a victory, just to go up on top in the final week of the year. But yeah, in the long run, though, they need some help on their staff too. They're just loaded with bad stuff right now going on. So I think what's going to happen, they should draft a quarterback. Maybe you should draft a few wide receivers and something like that and help them out. Hopefully it don't work out that way. For my New England Patriots case, they can be miserable all they want. So, I don't care. Same thing for the Bills, too. But good thing they fired Rex Ryan and the Ryan brothers. So, yeah. Buccaneers and the Panthers. It was a good win for the Buccaneers. I'll give them that. But I think they're probably the best team in the NFC that didn't make the playoffs. Because I tell you this. The Buccaneers are due for a playoff run in the future. Definitely. Definitely. Do you think it's going to come next year? Possibly. Do I think they might go get the division title in a few years? Possibly too. But, in the long run, Carolina, I had a feeling. I told you guys in my my NFC South predictions. I predicted the Falcons will get the North. Thank you very much. And I'll tell you my shout out for that in a minute. And I'll get to the Atlanta and Saints game in a minute. And for the Panthers, I told you the Panthers would get a Super Bowl hangover, which they did. I had a feeling, but I didn't expect to go 6-10 or 7-9 or something. I wasn't expecting. I thought it would be like 8-8 or something, maybe 9-7 and not make the playoffs. But they didn't make the playoffs. But in my case of view, they just were just bad in ways. So, but maybe they'll probably work something out. Maybe get protection for Cam Newton in the draft. So we'll see how they do. But as for the Atlanta Falcons and the Saints, let me say this. Congratulations to the Atlanta Falcons and winning the NFC South and getting the number 2 seed. You really deserved it. I picked you guys to win that division. You did. You didn't let me down. I'll tell you that one. But that's another case scenario for that. But Matt Ryan, probably one of the MVP candidates, just like Tom Brady, one of the MVP candidates too for this year's NFL award. So that's something to be interesting to look forward to and go from there. But the Saints, they just desperately need help, especially on defense. They really can't do anything on defense. They can score, but on offense, but they can't do anything on defense. So I don't know, mate. I don't know how long Sean Payton's gonna last in New Orleans if this keeps going. I don't even know Drew Brees can handle it much longer. And what is it? They haven't been to the playoffs, I don't think, since Sean Payton come back from his suspension for Bountygate. It's been like, I don't know, maybe 6 years or something like that. They haven't made the playoffs. So the Saints need to work something out with this, see what's going on, what they need to do, and go from there. But I think defense is the problem for them. And they definitely should look into that in the draft. And for the next is the Broncos and the Raiders. Let me say this. I expected the Raiders would lose without Derek Carr, but I didn't expect their backup to get hurt too, so I gotta say. But Denver is a Super Bowl caliber defense with not really good offense. So if they had a Peyton Manning quarterback, they probably would have been in the playoffs right now, maybe take the division. And Oakland would be out of the playoffs, and maybe Kansas City would probably take the wild card by now. Probably. But anyways, what I'm saying is Derek Carr was the main reason for that offense, and it showed right there in Week 17. But now their backup quarterback gets hurt. Cook, the rookie quarterback, gets in there. It's just getting worse. So I don't know what's going to happen with Oakland now in the wild card. I mean, that's a sad situation what the Raiders are going through right now. I mean, something needs to be changed over there. Maybe they need to have a defensive team in there. If they have a defensive team in there, watch out. They may take the AFC West next year. But anyways, Arizona, Los Angeles. Arizona, one of the most disappointing teams in the NFC side, but they end up getting the win over the Los Angeles Rams. And like I said last week, Carson Palmer, Larry Fitzgerald said they want to come back. They sure look like they want to come back. And they sure look like they're going to come back to the playoffs next year if that continues. But I think for Arizona's case, they should do what the Packers did when they drafted Aaron Rodgers. They should do what they did with Brett Favre, train Aaron Rodgers, make him a solid quarterback, and look at him now. He got a Super Bowl run out of the deal with that. I think the Cardinals should do the exact same thing with their situation with Carson Palmer, because Carson Palmer's not going to last long in the league. You know, he says he's hurting, but he wants to come back. So I think it's a good possibility they should at this point, though. I mean, it'd be great, but especially if Larry Fitzgerald stays another few more years, put him under Carson Palmer's wings, and maybe they'll win a Super Bowl with it. And Larry Fitzgerald finally getting a Super Bowl, I should say. Gotta say this, Larry Fitzgerald, one of the best players that never win a Super Bowl besides Chris Carter and everyone else like that. So for wide receiver wise. But what I'm saying to you, but for the Rams situation, well, with the Cardinals, excuse me, but with the Rams situation, first year back in Los Angeles, I just fired Jeff Fisher. At this point right now, They got Jared Goff, who I know was on concussion protocol, which I think he should be fine. But, you know. But, get him some good receivers, get him some good tight ends. Be a great, solid offense. But defensively, they need help, too, in my opinion. So they need to look into that and just go from there. But, you know what? Let's see how they roll with it and go with it. Seattle and San Francisco. All right. I knew Seattle was going to win, but I didn't expect a blowout like that. I wasn't expecting a close game like that. I really wasn't. I know it was in San Francisco. I understand. But, you know, you need a win, really. They needed a win, which they did. I mean, they did fine with it, but it goes to show you that the running back situation was a problem with the Seattle Seahawks and go from there. But it didn't work out that way. They ended up getting the win, though. San Francisco being the number 2 seed in the draft, which that helped them in the long run. Maybe them too should get protection for Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick is not the problem. And it's Chip Kelly, one of them, yes. But it's the general manager too, and the ownership. That needs to change too. They need someone like they had before in the 80s. I forget his name, but, you know. They get someone like him that can run the show and go from there. But, you know, it was good to get Seattle on top, but San Francisco should have got a win just to get a victory. Just felt relieved in there, but, you know, didn't work out. But Seattle ended up getting the NFC West. They got the number 3 seed. Hey, good for Seattle on that point. And now, because of that, they're going to play Detroit in the playoff game, which I'm going to get to the Packers and Detroit game right now for my thoughts on that game. It was the battle of the NFC North. But it ended up being the Packers' way, and they ended up getting the win. Thank you, Green Bay. And I just had that feeling about it. Aaron Rodgers said he was back, and he was back. Go to show him, and people said it for several weeks. Like, what's wrong with Aaron Rodgers? What's wrong with him? But nothing's wrong with him now. Nothing's wrong with them. They're hot at the right time, so we gotta go for them. So, you got it, and Aaron Rodgers said, he's got it covered, and he got it covered. And then I would look at him, got the NFC North title, and look with them now. They're in the wild card hunt, and they're playing in Green Bay. And they got a home playoff game in Green Bay against the New York Giants. And now I'm going to get to the New York Giants game. Washington and the New York Giants, I got to say this. Out of the games, all the final week games, week 17 games, the Redskins and Giants game was one of the most disappointing games, I thought. Because the Redskins didn't bother to show up. They needed a win to get in the playoffs. And when they didn't, and I was like, looking at the game, I'm like, what's going on with the Redskins? And like, they're not doing anything. They thought they had to come back for a while, but they ended up falling apart anyways. They fell apart with the New York Giants in the end of the game, and the Giants got the go-ahead touchdown. It happened to be the game-winning touchdown. Could have been had the go-ahead touchdown to win the game, and that was it. So, there you go. And there it is right there. But, what it is. But, the Redskins, I don't know, they'll probably think they can get somebody in the draft, a lower seed. They can get another good wide receiver for Kirk Cousins, or maybe a tight end. I don't know. But, at this point, Daniel Snyder should go on the Redskins anyway, so go from there. So, yeah, those are my thoughts for Week 17. I'm going to get back to you in the playoffs. And welcome back, everybody. And now it's time for my wild card playoff predictions. Well, I'm going to say how they got there, too, so maybe a little longer. So, I'm going to start off with Houston and Oakland. I'm going to do the AFC teams first and the NFC teams. The Saturday game, Oakland and Houston. That's probably one of the games that's not going to be pretty to watch, I don't think. In my book, because Oakland is... just lost Derek Carr and their backup quarterback, and they got a rookie quarterback named Cook to come in. Yikes. Bad time to make a situation like that. Ouch. But Houston, on the other hand, has a good, solid defense, being the number 1 defense in the league, probably the top 3 defense in the league. That's without J.J. Watt, which that deserves a lot of credibility to that. So, I expect Jameson to have a heck of a game against Oakland's offense. They're going to have no answer for Oakland, I think. And that's going to be a problem for Oakland because Oakland's defense is not really great defense. But for some reason, I don't know why. They maybe defensively in the future they'll get really better. But now it's not really that great. But I'm going to say this now. Because Houston has the advantage on defense, I know both offenses are going to struggle because Tom Savage is hurt, and then now they brought in the $72 million dump, the slum, who is Brock Osweiler, and bring him back in the offensive in the quarterback position, and I think Houston has the advantage for the defensive side because of that, and I think Jameson's going to have a heck of a game, and they're going to win this game, but it's not going to be much, which I'm going to do scores too, just to remind you. I'm going to make my prediction of this. It's going to be a low-scoring game. I'm going to say Houston wins 17-14 in this game because it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think it's going to be a 3-point spread, so I really think it's going to be really low-scoring in that one, so I expect to be low-scoring. So it's going to be a game that it's like, if you like defensively, you got to go for that. And for Pittsburgh and Miami, I gotta say this, Pittsburgh, they got in because of Big Ben and the offense, Le'Veon Bell, and Antonio Brown on offense. Miami, they played really well. They were hot all season long until the November to now. At this point, then Ryan Tannehill gets hurt. Yeah, I hate Miami, but I don't know why I rolled my eyes because I don't want Miami to win, and I hope they don't, because I don't want to deal with Miami in the division round. But I don't think that's going to be a problem. But Pittsburgh has an okay defense. I think Miami's okay, too. Not really great. I expect it to be a high-scoring game, It's going to be all the running backs going to be taking over this game, I think, with Le'Veon Bell taking over. But I think the Pittsburgh's offense has the better advantage because of Antonio Brown with the wide receiver core as well for Pittsburgh. But I think Pittsburgh is going to win this game, but it's not going to be by much. But I think the final score will be 24-14 Pittsburgh Steelers. So I got Pittsburgh over Miami. Now for the NFC side, I got it's the Lions and the Seahawks in Seattle. Detroit got in there because of the loss with the Redskins, and they lost in the NFC South, NFC North, and they end up losing that game, and now they're going to Seattle. But I think this is a really good advantage for Seattle with the 12th man, and it's gonna take it on Detroit though. If I was a game to watch to see, maybe it would be an upset pick. It would probably be them, but I really can't see that happening. I mean, Seattle with the 12th man, it's gonna be loud, rocking in that stand with the 12th man. I can't see it happening for Detroit winning this game. Matthew Stafford and Russell Wilson, they're going to put some great numbers on offense. It's going to be a high-scoring game. But I'm going to pick Seattle over Oakland just by a little much. It's going to be a high-scoring game. Only problem is they don't have running backs in both sides, especially for Seattle, because ever since Marshawn Lynch retired, his numbers went down. So that's a little problem for the Seahawks. For Detroit, though, it's the same situation. Matthew Stafford on offense, and I expected Detroit to not make the playoffs, but look at them now. They're in the wild card hunt for that. And I'm going to say this. I said Seattle over Oakland, but the final score would be 37-31 in overtime. I think this is going to be an overtime game. Seattle's going to pull it off. So that's a bold prediction. I'm going to make that bold prediction. That game's going to go overtime. That's my bold prediction for that one. I think it's going to be a great game to watch. So I'm going to be looking forward to that game. So, like I said, the Seahawks over the Lions, 37-31 overtime. So, next, I'm going to be the last game in this one. Historic rivalry for the last several years. Well, the past 10 years. They met twice in the playoffs in the past 10 years. And it's the New York Giants and the Green Bay Packers. Yes, they met in the NFC Championship game in 2007. They met in the division round in 2011. Both were won by the Giants, and unfortunately, that led the Giants to 2 Super Bowl victories over my New England Patriots. But if there's a game more confident that Aaron Rodgers and the Packers and Mike McCarthy are more focused on, it's that game. They're probably going to get the monkeys off their back for the New York Giants. And they're finally probably going to do it, I think. Both good offenses, don't get me wrong. I mean, Green Bay not a great defense, but New York's defense, it's good, but not great either. But I think they're a lot better defense than Green Bay is, but offensively, that's going to be an offensive shootout too. But it's going to be over 48 points, I think. I'm going to say Green Bay wins this game, getting the monkeys off their back in the playoffs against the New York Giants in Lambeau. They're going to win the game 27-24. Yes, here's my playoff predictions are going to go. Green Bay going to Atlanta. And I think they're going to go to Atlanta. And, Green Bay going to Dallas. Then Seattle going to Atlanta. And in my case, in the division round. And for Houston, they're going to go to New England. And the Steelers are going to go to Kansas City. That's what my division round looks like. In that case scenario. So, we'll see how that one plays out. And that will do it for my wild card predictions. And I'll be back with you with my thoughts on my college football bowl games and predictions. And welcome back, everybody. I remember like week 14 or so, like a few weeks ago, that I predicted some bowl games, which I'm going to give you my thoughts of it, and then I'll go for the playoffs. So this is going to be really interesting to look forward to. So the Orange Bowl game, I said Michigan was going to beat Florida State, but that didn't turn out that way. That turned out to be Florida State win. That ended up being the upset pick at the Orange Bowl with a high-scoring game of 33-32, which kind of glad too, because I don't like Michigan either. So, but I really thought Michigan had the advantage in that game, which that didn't turn out to be that way, and Florida State ended up winning the game. And Wisconsin and Western Michigan in the Cotton Bowl, I thought it was going to be a blowout in that game, but that didn't turn out to be that way. It ended up being an 8-point differential in that game in favor of Wisconsin in that game, 24-16, which it was kind of a good game to watch. I got to be honest, I saw highlights of the game. I didn't really watch most of the games because I was busy with work, but that is going to be a good game. Was a good game to look forward to. It's probably one of the best ones I picked besides the Orange Bowl too, and the Rose Bowl, Penn State and USC. But I thought for sure Penn State would win this game because they were really upset about not making it to the playoff hunt, but ended up being in the Washington Huskies getting in, which it turned out that way they wanted to, but USC ended up winning the game with a high scoring game with 52-49. But, I was hoping that Penn State would win because I hate USC. I really do. So, but anyways, that was a really good, interesting game to watch. And the Sugar Bowl, Oklahoma defeated Auburn 35-19, which I thought it would be the exact opposite of that, what I was thinking about. But it ended up turning out to be Oklahoma's favor because how they were running on that offensive side. So, it turned out to be really good for Oklahoma, but maybe Oklahoma could be a playoff contention in the future with that stats they had. So we'll wait and see on how Oklahoma does. And for the Peach Bowl, Alabama and Washington, I gotta say this: I expected Alabama to do what they did, but it was a little low scoring than I thought it would be. I expected to get them blown out of Washington, but not that low scoring though. But they end up beating out the Huskies 24-7, which I had a feeling that would happen because I think the Huskies were just happy to be in the playoff picture. They haven't done this in a while, In fact, they haven't been one of the big bowls in a while either. if I remember correctly. But, you know, Alabama, it would have been a great upset pick if I did that, but I knew that Alabama was going to win. With Nick Saban running the show on there, who knows what it would have done if that would have lost that game. So it kind of reminded me of the Auburn, the Alabama game when they had that punt return for a touchdown. You know, that would have been really cool to see, but, you know, whatever. But anyways, for the Fiesta Bowl, Clemson and Ohio State. I gotta say this one. That one was one of the most disappointing games in all the bowl games. I gotta say. But Clemson win 31-0, and they have a rematch with Alabama in the national championship game. And because of that, it's gonna be it's gonna be a good game to watch on the championship game. Which, don't get me wrong, but Ohio State just didn't bother to show up in that game at all. And I'm sure that Ohio State was like questioning what was going on. They just didn't have an answer for Clemson. And I was just state of shock on that one. Really state of shock. So, that's what I gotta say about that one. So, wow. I just could not believe what I just saw in that. What I just saw. I mean, I just couldn't believe it. So, anyways, you know, that's what I have to say about that. And now for my championship pick. It's a rematch. The rematch of the last year's championship game, Clemson and Ohio State. Alabama. So, you know, I think personally it's going to be a really closer game than it was last year. And I'm pretty sure Clemson will like to get their hands on Alabama. And I got to say, they may do it, though. One of these days, Alabama is going to lose. But I'm thinking it could be this game. Because I think Clemson really wants it. I think they're really hungry for a victory. Maybe they'll pull off an upset. Somebody's got to pick an upset pick on this one, but it may have to be me. I'm picking Clemson over Alabama. Final score? Clemson, 33. Alabama, 26. There you go. That's my national championship playoff prediction for college football. So, let's see the results on that one, and let's see how they do on January 9th. Shout-outs for the week. First off, Hatbox and Billy B, known as the Hatbox Billy B show on the Hatbox's channel. Check out Hatbox, and congratulations on your Atlanta Falcons, Hatbox. Number 2, and clinching the NFC South, and I predicted that too. So, hey, congratulations on that one. And New Jack, you got to check out New Jack now. He just made his wild card playoff predictions, and he's going to do a national championship prediction too. So stay tuned for his videos on that. And his link will be down below as well. And of course, the reason why I'm wearing my Spider-Man shirt and hat and my coffee mug is because my good friend Half Moon's Picks. Yes, definitely check out Half Moon's Picks. I mean, he makes great picks, and he does against the spread really well. So, if you want to learn about against the spread, that's your guy you want to look forward to. Same thing with Hatbox too. I mean, he does a lot of against the spread too, and Billy B as well. So, definitely recommend you get for them for that. And I wanted to say thank you for Stu Pace and Steve Brown, known as the Electric Football Show, for mentioning me, Central Cross posting on that. And of course, hey, Stu Pace, now when mentioning your name, if this turns out to be a Dolphins-Patriots game in the division round, we should do a little bet. You know, if that turns out to be the case. If the Patriots win, you gotta wear a Patriots hat. And if the Dolphins win, I gotta wear a Dolphins hat. We should do like a little bet for that. On that one. So what do you say on that one? So, hey, I'm in that little betting mood, so what the hell? You know? So I'm in the mood for that, so, you know. Let me know what your thoughts, Stu Pace. I want to hear your words on that one. So if that turns out to be the case, you never know what can happen in the NFL playoffs, you know. And that reminds me, playoffs? Talking about playoffs? The Jim Moore rant. I gotta get that one out. So, anyways, that will do it for Andrew Warren's wild card and NCAA football prediction, championship prediction show. And I'll see you guys all in the division round. Till then, stay very warm out wherever you are, because it's very freezing where I am. So, this is Andrew Warren signing off. Bye.